Listen closely for a second. If we lived forever, we would sleepwalk through our days. The countdown is what wakes us up. I know that sounds strange, maybe even a little scary, but stay with me. This isn't about hurting yourself or anyone else. This is about seeing the quiet truth that shapes every choice you make, every person you love, and every risk you take. The truth is simple. And that simple fact secretly designs our entire life. Welcome back to Psychexpist. Here, we explore why we think, feel, and act the way we do. Today, we're looking at why death exists at all, and how knowing we will die can actually make life deeper, kinder, and more real. By the end of this, you'll start to notice little moments in your day that were always there, but felt invisible. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Have you ever wondered why some days feel urgent for no clear reason? Like you suddenly want to call your mom, start a project you've been meaning to do, or watch the sun go down without touching your phone? That rush of "I have to pay attention now" is not random. It's a whisper from the clock. Your brain knows time is moving, and that quiet pressure creates focus. When you think you have endless time, you wait. When you feel the edge of time, you move. Think about all the times you finally started something just because a deadline was close. That wasn't laziness before, it was distance. The finish line felt far away, so your mind didn't light up. The moment you saw the end, your energy woke up. Have you felt that gear shift in your body, the one where your back straightens, your breath gets deeper, and you say, "Okay now"? The truth is, endings create attention. Without an ending, our focus fades into fog. With an ending, even a small one, life snaps into color. If a simple deadline does that, imagine what the biggest deadline, our own mortality, does to the way we see. It's heavy, yes, but it's also a gift. Because once you feel it, you stop scrolling and start living. But what if the clock isn't only about focus? What if it's about love? Have you noticed how love becomes sharper when you might lose it? The last day of a trip with friends always feels warmer than the first. The last hug at the airport is different from the first one at the door. Knowing something ends makes us hold it with two hands. That's not drama, it's wiring. Our brains give more value to rare things, and nothing is rarer than this exact moment with these exact people. Think about the last time you sat with someone you love and really listened. Maybe it was after bad news. Maybe it was at a funeral. Maybe it was on a random Tuesday when you realized they won T, always be there, or you won T. The words felt heavier, right? You were present. That's love, tuned by limits. And here's something we don't like to say out loud. If we never died, we might treat love like an endless playlist. I'll listen later. Because we do die, we lean in now. That is reason 1 and 2 working together. Urgency and depth. They make us show up. Now, let's go wider. Why does the world keep moving even when our own stories end? Look at a family tree. New branches need space. If no one left the tree, it would become a tangle of shadow. There's no room for sunlight, no room for new buds. Nature knows this. Old leaves fall so new ones can grow, but your skin sheds cells every day so your body can stay alive. Forests burn and then bloom because some seeds only open with heat. Death is part of the cycle that makes room for the next day, the next mind, the next idea. It hurts, yes, but it also builds. Imagine if every leader, every artist, every teacher stayed in place forever. No one else would get a turn to try, to fail, to learn, to lead. When we think about death this way, it stops being a cruel rule and starts being a strange kind of fairness across time. Everyone gets a turn. No one keeps the stage forever. Have you ever met a child who surprised you with a thought so fresh it felt like sunlight? That's the new branch pushing through. The takeaway is simple. Mortality makes space. Space makes growth. Growth keeps the world alive. But there's something even more personal here. If endings give space, they also give meaning. Think about a story with no ending. You wouldn't finish it. You wouldn't care. Meaning comes from limits. The last slice of cake tastes better because it's the last. The last page of a book makes the whole story land. In the same way, your days matter because they are counted. If there were 1,000 tomorrows of the same kind, why choose today? But when you feel the shape of your years, you start asking better questions. What do I want to stand for? Who do I want to be kind to? What can I leave better than I found it? People who face loss often say the same line. I see what matters now. Have you heard yourself say that after a scare, a diagnosis, or a close call on the road? It's like your soul cleaned its window in one swipe. The noise falls quiet, the signal shines. This is how death shapes life. It cleans the glass. And once the glass is clean, courage shows up. Because meaning without action is only a nice thought. The sense that we won't be here forever nudges us to be brave while we are. Take the trip. Start the song. Say I'm sorry. Say I love you. Make the call. Do you feel that small push when you remember that someday is not a real day on any calendar? That push is not fear. It's guidance. Still, the guidance can be hard to hear when the world feels broken. So let's zoom back to nature for a second. Nature wastes nothing, even endings. When a flower dies, it feeds the soil. When a star dies, it throws heavy elements across space that later become planets, rivers, trees, and you. Your lungs carry iron that was forged in a dying star. Death is part of making life possible at every scale, from your cells to galaxies. On the ground, ecosystems use cycles of life and death to stay healthy. In your body, old cells die on purpose, so new ones can take their place. If they didn't, you'd be in trouble. This process has a name, but we dainty need the science term to feel its wisdom. Clearing makes room for healing. You do this in your room when you throw out old clothes. You do it in your mind when you let go of a grudge. Endings are not the enemy. They are the gardener. Can you think of a time you only grew after letting something go? A job, a habit, a fake friendship? It hurt. It also freed you. The same pattern lives in the biggest ending we know. And when we sense that, we stop asking, why does anything end? Start asking, what can I grow while I'm here? But there's another effect we almost miss. Humility. Mortality softens the ego. When we remember we are temporary, we become kinder. Petty wars of pride feel silly. Winning a comment fight online feels empty. You start to value being real over being right. That shift builds cooperation. You feel pulled to plant trees you will never sit under. You teach what you know, not to be admired, but to be useful. You write the recipe down for your little sister. Show your friend how to fix a tire. You donate blood, time, attention. You realize your life is a bridge for someone else to cross. And that is a beautiful way to live. Have you felt that strange peace when you help someone with no one watching? That's your ego taking a step back because it knows the truth. None of us outruns the end, so the only win is to pass the light forward. The more we live this way, the less alone we feel. The less alone we feel, the braver we act. But there's a shadow here too, and it's important to name it with honesty. Fear of death can twist us. When we feel small and fragile, we look for labels to hide inside. We cling to groups, flags, and masks, not because we love them, but because we're scared. We chase money or attention like armor. We deny aging. We avoid talking about grief. We fill our days with noise, so we don't hear the quiet truth. If you've ever scrolled late at night trying to outrun a heavy thought, you know this feeling. But there is a better way. We don't need to drown the fear. We can befriend it. How? By looking at it directly in small, gentle ways and letting it teach us. When you sit by a hospital bed, when you walk through a cemetery on a sunny day, when you talk with your parents about their stories, you are not being morbid. You are practicing life with your eyes open. And when the fear shows up you can ask it a simple question. What are you trying to protect? Usually the answer is love. You're scared to lose what matters. That means something matters. That is not a problem to erase. That is a compass to follow. What about you? When was the last time you noticed this in your own day? Maybe it was when you watched a child blow out candles and felt time moving. Maybe it was when you held an old photo and felt your chest ache, not from pain, but from meaning. I'd love to hear your story in the comments because every person's answer teaches someone else how to live a little truer. So what can we actually do with all this? First, notice the pattern. When you feel that wave of urgency, don't panic. Name it. Say, I feel the clock. Naming it turns fear into focus. Second, make small rituals that honor time. Watch the sunset without your phone. Write one line in a journal before bed. What mattered today? Third, Make tiny acts of courage normal. Send the message. Apologize for one thing. Start for 5 minutes. Tiny courage grows into big courage. Fourth, share love out loud. Don't wait for a special moment. Every moment is special once it's gone. Fifth, be kind to yourself. You are not weak for feeling afraid. You are human. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. Let me ask you something simple. If you had 1 hour to live the most honest version of your life today, not to finish everything, just to live honestly, what would you do in that hour? Who would you text? What would you say? How would you spend your attention? That little thought experiment is not meant to scare you. It's meant to guide you. You don't need a crisis to live like that. You can steal 5 honest minutes from today and spend them well. You can sit with your coffee and decide. Today, I will choose one thing that matters over 5 things that daunt me. You can smile at a stranger. Call your dad. Play with your kid. Take a slow walk. Read one page that feeds your mind. Small choices repeated create a life you're proud of when you look back. And if you are grieving right now, or scared, or angry at the unfairness of it all, hear this. You're not alone. Grief is love with nowhere to go. Let it sit with you. Breathe with it. Talk to someone you trust. If the weight feels too heavy, reach out for help. Strong people ask for help all the time. There's no shame in that, only wisdom. Today we looked at how the fact that we die shapes our days. It gives us urgency, deepens. Love makes space for new life, creates. Meaning calls up courage, keeps nature healthy, softens the ego into kindness, and yes, it can scare us into hiding, but it can also guide us into honesty. If this opens something in you, tell me one small thing you will do differently after watching this. I want to learn from you. This is not the end of the conversation. Next time we're going to explore how to turn fear into a teacher, step by simple steps, so that your stress stops running your life and starts serving it. Till then, keep noticing the little tricks your brain plays. Keep choosing what matters over what shines, and keep growing with me here.